Well, Brant, this Sunday was not what any Lions fans have been waiting for, anticipating since the loss of the Commanders back in the playoffs. They come out totally flat against the Packers. I need to know whether I guess I want to know where you're at, man. Is it like the sky is falling right now? I don't think it is for you or anybody, but I'm definitely hearing the panic. And you should be concerned after watching that game. Maybe not hitting the red panic button, but there's a lot to be concerned about. So I want to know, Brant, your thoughts on that game against the Packers and what this team needs to clean up moving forward, heading into a big game against Chicago here at home this weekend. Before you hop in, please do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, hop in the comments down below. Let us know what you think about this Lions team on Sunday. Is this an overreaction? Do you still feel as confident as you did before the game? What are your thoughts on this team? Brant, I'll hand it over to you.
Dave, highly, I'm highly nervous for this team and what this means. I don't like the way that the Packers looked, how they look so good. I think that should be the number one concern for the Lions right now. I was not, I guess, privy to the numbers that came out, Dave, about 8 division wins in a row, 11 of 12. It was kind of mind blowing to see how bad the offense struggled. Really, actually, I think the word that you can use is just disjointed. It didn't look like it had any continuity to it. Jared Goff didn't look like Jared Goff, um, and and this is what we get when Ben Johnson walks out the door, and this is the first product that we see. Dave, definitely concerning because this was a team besides the offensive line that had pretty much all the pieces back, right? So and I know we're going to talk about the offensive line, Dave, but that looked like an offensive line that was just at the bottom of the NFL level. Outside of Panay Sewell, I thought Sewell played great, but other than
Yeah,
that,
I mean, I think we let's go there next because that to me is everything. I mean, I'm less concerned about the defense. I'm not overly confident, but I'm less concerned about the defense and much more concerned about the offense. And clearly, the talent is there. Like all your skill players return, Jared Goff returns all of that, but that offensive line it's a liability right now, if I'm being honest. And I know the Packers really brought it. They had a good game plan, but when your interior of that line is Graham Glasgow and Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany, I don't love that. And the heart of this Lions offense and why it has been so good. I mean, there's been several factors. Ben Johnson, obviously, a big piece of that, but it has been the offensive line and their ability to run the football. They could not run the football to save their life. Like I'm less concerned about Jared Goff and more concerned. I'm not putting this on Monty or Gibbs or those guys. It's this O line. It's just not there right now. I think it will get better. I know it will get better. It's week one. This is part of the issue too, Brant. Why? And I'm not saying that playing these guys in any preseason games would change anything in week one. But when you don't sprinkle these guys in at all, and the first time they're in pads really hitting somebody else besides their teammates, and I know they do the joint practices. That's Dan Campbell's thing. I start to really question, especially for something like the offensive line, where we know how important it is to have the chemistry and all of that. It was not good. And I do wonder how long it takes to get better. And so we watched Chicago and Minnesota go at it last night. Chicago did blow that game. Shout out JJ McCarthy. That was awesome. But now the Lions head into this week playing a Bears team that I mean we'll see. They look like a pretty good team in the first half, not in the second half. If the Lions come out flat against the Bears, I think this Bears team is good enough. I think Ben Johnson has enough of he wants to make a statement. Like, let's be honest, this game is circled on his calendar. You come out and go 0-2 and then have your next, 4 games, and I don't have the order in front of me, but I believe it's like the Ravens, Browns, Chiefs, and Bengals in some order like that. Those are potentially three more losses right there. And by the way, the Browns were no slouch against the Bengals this weekend. So, yeah, you don't have a lot of time to figure it out with this schedule. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Brant, have you taken a look at this spread at all to see
Yeah,
what Vegas is
it's
saying about the Bears and Lions?
5.5.
5.5. Okay, so I'm going to start with you. Where do you go with this game? You think the Lions cover 5.5? You're taking the Bears, and why?
I think that this game could get ugly, Dave. I think that this thing could be low scoring. I'm thinking anywhere in the realm of 17-13, maybe 20-14. So right on the edge of the spread here, Dave. I'm going to take the Lions to cover it. And actually, when I said 20-14, that sounds pretty good to me. I could definitely see that type of ball game. Once again, Caleb Williams struggles to do anything that didn't seem to be scripted. Anytime he's got to go play hero ball, it's a negative. And I can already tell watching that game last night, Dave, DJ Moore, Roma Dunes, these guys already look frustrated. And it's just more of Caleb being Caleb. And I think that their dysfunction will lead to the Lions winning this football game. 5.5 is a pretty large number in the NFL. We talk about 3.5, 4.5 being like where we're comfortable, but I'll take the Lions to cover the 5.5. And let me tell you one more thing, Dave, about this Lions defense. Well, you already touched on it. They might not be top 10 in this NFL, but I think they're good enough to harass Caleb Williams. I think they're good enough to um, probably create some turnovers against him. And I know if there's one thing that Detroit can do, it's bring the home crowd in and really make that a tough environment for him. And he had a nice home environment, and they started off with a touchdown, so he already had the good vibes going. I look for Detroit to get this done.
I'm right there with you, actually. It's like, hey, let's flip this doom and gloom script, and this has got to be the week to get right for the Lions. I think they will. I think if you look at Dan Campbell's tenure as the head coach and his time in Detroit, they don't normally do this twice, especially back to back. And so, gosh, the game on Sunday, just immediately, I was thinking of that Ravens game a couple years ago that just like the
Yeah.
wheels came off in Baltimore so fast. It wasn't quite to that level, but they got absolutely dominated. And regardless of what the box score says and whatever that spread was, I can tell you right now that Dan Campbell is a good enough coach, a good enough motivator. People will question the X's and the O's and the decision making at times. This is when you need a head coach like this to get right. And I have a hard time believing the Lions don't do that at home this weekend. 1 o'clock time slot against a divisional rival in the Chicago Bears.
Dave, before we go, I just have to know from you, is this city, is this fan base, is everyone mentally prepared for an 0-2 start? Like, do you think that this thing flips so quick on Campbell and Jared Goff and these guys? Like, do,
I, I,
do you think
let's leave
that
it.
the city has
Yeah,
faith?
I'll leave it right here. I think that the where the faith will drop first will not be Dan Campbell. It's going to be Brad Holmes because he's going to get criticized for the lack of moves in free agency, what they
The depth
did,
on the O
and
line.
you got it. What they did and did not do. You could argue on the D line too, and not. And you, as you watch Zadarius Smith head off to Philly, that's where the criticism is going to come. No, nobody's prepared for 0-2. And is it a possibility? Absolutely. It's the NFL. Lions fans, let us know here in the comment sections. What do you guys think? Hit that subscribe button here on Garage Takes. You're a Lions fan. You're a Michigan football fan. You join us every week right here.